Hello and welcome everyone. This is Blue Buqua talking on our contamination control podcast for aseptic manufacturing. Today I'm speaking with our global marketing manager, Nina Morton, who's going to talk about our sustainability program at PMS. Nina, hi.
Hi, Blue. I'm happy to be here.
Your title is Global Marketing Manager. How are you involved in sustainability?
So, good question. I wear two hats at Particle Measuring Systems. I have been the head of global marketing for many, many years now. And then last year, I was asked to also be the head of sustainability, which I was very excited to be offered. It's something that I am very interested in and passionate about, sustainability, environmentalism. And I also think it combines very well with the marketing and communication aspect because sustainability really is a group effort from everyone. And with marketing and communication, it's something to communicate and almost market to the team to get people also involved.
Okay, and so what was the motivation to do a sustainably program?
Well, the number one thing is because it's the right thing to do. And that is always a driving force at Particle Measuring Systems. We had actually been doing some sustainability for several years. So, for example, maybe 10 years ago, we added in charging stations for electric vehicles at our office. We also had participated in the Boulder Zero Waste program. So we had added composting as well as recycling at our Boulder headquarters several years ago. But this new program is really driven by our parent company, Spectrus, and their purpose is delivering value beyond measure while making the world cleaner, healthier, more productive. So sustainability really fits just with their core purpose of who they are. Plus, it also meets the Spectra shareholder expectations.
So what is the Particle Measuring Systems Environmental Sustainability Program?
Great question. There's actually a lot of different components to it, but my role as head of sustainability is following the Spectrus roadmap to net zero. So the roadmap is very ambitious, but the world needs ambition right now to keep the planet to 1.5 degrees heating. So our goals for scope 1 and 2 are net zero by 2030 and scope 3 net zero by 2040. And we have had our roadmap validated by the Science Based Targets Initiative.
Got it. And how is PMS progressing towards these goals?
So the roadmap was released last year, and we've made really great progress in the last year on our scope 1 and 2 goals, which is really the focus in the last year. So 2021, we had solid progress on sustainable energy. We were able to get all the PMS offices converted to sustainable energy and 100% sustainability at all our directly owned buildings. There's a couple offices that are not 100% sustainable. For example, in Germany, they follow a country government-led initiative where everybody follows the same. So we're not there at some places. But we had a really great year for sustainable energy, and we had a lot of energy reduction by putting in LED lighting throughout our offices. Waste reduction was another big thing last year. So we reviewed a lot of our waste, especially at our headquarters, where we were able to implement even more recycling. So for example, our pallets and our plastic film now have direct recycling. That those are sorted out and picked up by people who use those directly. So two other things that we had our electric vehicle kickoff. So we have set up plans for our electric vehicles in different countries, most specifically in Europe and Americas. And we also kicked off our Geeky Zero app.
Right. And that brings me to my next question. What is geeky and why does it matter?
So Geeky is an app that has been gifted by Spectrus to all our employees. So the idea is that every person has a part to play in sustainability. It can't just be one person or one company, but it really needs everybody's participation. And Geeky is sort of tries to make it fun. So you can use it to know your carbon footprint. And then based on what you do in your lifestyle, it gives you customized suggestions to steps you can take to improve your carbon footprint overall and reduce your waste.
Okay, and how do we measure success?
Well, some of our things are easy to measure. So we've committed to a 100% electric vehicle fleet, for example. And that's pretty easy to measure. We have this many vehicles, and this many are now electric, and this many still need to happen by this time frame. So that's pretty easy. Some things that are a little bit more difficult are things like waste and trash, and we have those audited and then we publish those results.
Got it. And what are the top goals for 2022?
So every year we have to have very, very ambitious goals and far-reaching goals. This year, energy reduction will be a big deal. So while we moved to sustainable energy last year, now we want to remove or reduce the amount of energy that we use. So we have a couple offices still that need LED lighting, and that was mainly because we were moving buildings, for example, so we didn't put the LEDs in last year. We also want to make some very big strides towards net zero waste to landfill, which is one of our goals. So one of the things that we're going to be doing is packaging. We're really focused on reducing our packaging waste, which also helps our customers meet their net zero goals. And we're tracking the waste that's coming into the building. So for example, over packaging by our vendors and asking them to reduce that. We're also more aggressively rolling out our electric vehicles. So last year we just sort of put together the plan, put together the initial, ordered the initial vehicles and got the charging stations in. But this year we'll be more aggressive in rolling out those vehicles. And then another big project we have this year is we have a pretty notably sized building in Switzerland, in Vaudeville, and we'll be putting solar panels into that office.
Wow, that's amazing. And so, what are some of the biggest challenges?
I think the biggest challenge, all in all, is the scope 3 emissions. Scope 1 and 2, we have the most control of. They're the things that are really easiest to tackle. But scope 3 accounts for 92% of our emissions. So while it's more difficult and we have less control, it is something we have to really tackle very quickly. So another problem has been the global supply chain issues and trying to balance out our supply chain needs with also sustainability.
Got it. And so, what is planned for Earth Day 2022?
Well, so Earth Day is April 22nd, but PMS inspectors are going to do Earth Month. So we're going to celebrate sustainability and the Earth for the whole month. And as I said earlier, sustainability really requires everyone's participation to make a difference. So what we're going to do is really focus on participation and also reduction in electrical use. So we have asked for 100 suggestions from our PMS employees, again, focused on energy reduction. And then we're also doing a large packaging Kaizen in the middle of April.
So, are there any surprises in the program?
Actually, there's been quite a few surprises. One of the biggest surprises for me is I had expected sustainability to be expensive. And for the most part, it either pays for itself or it saves money. So some things do cost money, but it balances out with other projects. And then I would say another thing would be that it also has ended up meeting our customer needs and their sustainability requirements or just their needs in general. So one thing that we did, for example, was switching over to digital manuals. And there's a lot of benefits for that, but it also supports our customers better as they wanted digital, not paper manuals. We've also found that our employees have been really happy that we're participating in this and that they're part of a company that is focused on sustainability. And then interestingly, I've had feedback from our HR group that says that it's actually something that they use to attract employees because so many employees, especially, but not exclusively, a younger generation finds this as a really attractive reason to work for a company.
Definitely. Well, thanks. That was really informative. Do you have any last thoughts? Anything else that we should mention?
I think from my side, I just feel really proud to be part of a company and an organization and working for the leadership team that pushes us to do the right thing and supports our employees in doing the right thing. So for me personally, sustainability is critical. It can only be done with everyone's participation, and we're getting that great participation at our company. And I will also say that a lot of times people think sustainability is going to be really, really difficult. And it seems that it's actually just more approaching things differently than more difficult in the instead of a more difficult way.
Super. Thank you so much for your time today, Nina.
Thank you, Blue. It was great talking to you.